Yes or no? In Ireland, the pressure is on. On the 2nd of October, less than 1% of Europe's 500 million citizens will decide the future of the European Union. They're voting on the Lisbon Treaty for the second time.
Well, we belong to Europe and we have to be part of it, and I think we have to vote yes.
Do you think that yes vote will go this time?
I do believe it will. I voted no the last time, but I'm better informed and making a more informed choice this time.
Do you plan to vote no?
No, yeah.
And why do you plan to vote no?
Because I just don't think it's the right thing for the country. That's all.
And why is that?
I don't know. I'm just going to vote no.
Three main reasons. One, workers' rights. Two, European Defence Agency. Three, we voted no already and they don't seem to listen.
Without Europe, this country would be nothing. We might even be still picking potatoes out of the ground. So it seems clear to me that a yes vote is necessary for the island of Ireland to progress.
To be part of Europe and to hopefully generate jobs for the economy.
Generating jobs. A lot has changed in Ireland's economic landscape since it voted no in June of 2008. The Celtic Tiger's huge property development boom has gone bust. Today, construction sites are like a ghost town. Unemployment is over 12% and is expected to grow. Steve Murphy is a bricklayer. He's been out of work for almost 2 years. Before, he would have gone to England or Germany to find work, but today the crisis is global.
Well, one thing is just the amount of people who are unemployed, especially in the construction industry. Again, I know an awful lot of bricklayers, and from what I'm told, there's only actually 50 bricklayers working in the Dublin area legitimately at this moment. That's over at the height of about 3,000 2 years ago. I thought the last vote was more a protest vote. I think this time most people will probably vote yes, because there is a bit of a panic there amongst people. You know, I mean, there is those obviously who will protest vote one way or the other. But I think this time people are going to see that the country's in such a bad way and it needs money. It will need help from larger economies such as France and Germany.
While opinion polls so far favour a yes vote, about 25% of voters remain undecided. Mick Wallace is not your typical property developer. Yes, he made millions in the construction business, and yes, now he's also feeling the pinch. But he's also given money back in various social projects. He's worried the Lisbon Treaty will favour big companies and privatisation of public services.
The Europeans seem to think that, oh, the Irish, they don't appreciate all we've done for them. They're voting no. What's wrong with them? Voting no to Lisbon does not mean that we're anti-European. Of course, we want Europe to work in an efficient manner, but we think it can be done in a more socially favourable way, a greater emphasis on looking after the interests of people rather than the best interest of big business.
Many Irish voters blame their deeply unpopular government for their current economic woes, and the No campaign is playing on this unpopularity. Gerry Adams is the most well-known politician on the No side. The President and Vice President of Sinn Féin, former MEP Mary Lou McDonnell, are trying to convince voters the government has deceived them, that nothing has changed since the first referendum.
The debate is over.
They warn that guarantees on abortion, taxation and military neutrality are not legally binding. But Adams denies his political party is ungrateful to Europe.
What we want is a social Europe, not one which is about privatisation, which is about building a United States of Europe as an entity, a political entity on its own. And we're also, because we're a small state, very much of the view that all states should be treated on the basis of equality, in the same way as all human beings should be treated on the basis of equality. So we don't think we're sending a negative message at all. We actually think there's a big onus on the Irish electorate, because we're the only state which is having a referendum, to be thoughtful and to think outside of ourselves. And I mean, one of the outcomes of this treaty, if it goes through, we'll never have another referendum.
Never another referendum, a statement not easy to verify and one which puts the Yes campaign on the defense. They've accused the No side of scare tactics, such as a €1.84 minimum wage across Europe. The reason? Last year, the European Court of Justice ruled on the Laval case. It said Sweden could not force a Latvian company set up in Sweden to pay its foreign workers Sweden's minimum wage. Some trade unions warn this could set a precedent for other EU countries. Pat Cox is a former president of the European Parliament.
How are you?
We have, I suppose, a combination of, in my view, misunderstandings, misrepresentations and pure myth. The Lisbon Treaty, in the objectives of the Union, stresses the need for a social market economy, emphasising full employment as an aspiration, and in the objectives on the Treaty on the functioning of the Union specifically refers to an injunction on all the institutions, including the court in future, to look at questions of a high level of social protection and the fight against social exclusion.
Paddy Power is one of Ireland's biggest bookmakers. Here in Dublin, you can bet on just about anything, the Lisbon Treaty included. For Paddy Power himself, bets can be more reliable than opinion polls, because for him, when people place money on a referendum, it's doubtful they'll change their minds. For now, the Yes side has a comfortable lead.
It's much like an opinion poll. The weight of money decides which way the odds fluctuate and which way they move. So when we started off, we thought that a yes vote would be very likely, even though we thought that the last time we were completely wrong. But we thought that a yes vote was very likely, so that was quite a short-priced favourite. But now that a lot of money has come in, it's shortened all the time. It's gone as short as 1 to 12 now, which means there's a 92% chance, in our opinion, that it's going to be a yes vote.
But as Paddy says, they've been wrong before. Last year, until the last day, they thought it would be a yes vote.
Who knows? I mean, you know, the public will ultimately decide, and in Ireland we have a tradition. If somebody says vote yes, we vote no. If somebody says vote no, we vote yes. So we don't know what's going to happen just yet.
Both sides warn that whatever the outcome, it will have a serious impact on how the European Union will work in the future. And until the 2nd of October, the bets are still open in a race which is far from over.
It is damaging to win.